Welcome, YouTube family. I'll go by the name of Camilio Salamander, and this is my co-host, KB the Mark.
Because I'm a fucking mark for this shit.
You are watching the feature #1 wrestling podcast show on YouTube. So with that being said, welcome to the D&B podcast. We're going to go ahead and start it off with the Raw review. Now, in the opening segment, Raw opened up with the Hurt Business cutting a promo. Bobby, he wanted to give someone an opportunity for a title shot at WrestleMania if they take out Drew McIntyre. Bobby, he turned on Shelton Benjamin and Cedric for losing to Drew last week. So my question is this the end of the Hurt Business, or is this the start to something new?
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I really did not like this segment. The Hurt Business is the #1 thing that Raw had going for them. The Hurt Business. And first off, let's just start from the bottom. Let's start with Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, two workers who are often overlooked, and you put them in there with MVP, who's a great mouthpiece, and the almighty Bobby Lashley, who has been booked to perfection, who many people say should have been booked this way from the beginning of his time with WWE. A lot of people really think that, and for you to break up this all African American group at the top of their dominance. I mean, Jesus, you just put the belt on Bobby Lashley only to have the tag team in the Hurt Business to lose to the New Day. By the way, which the New Day don't even need titles at this point. I think they're on like number 11 and they don't do nothing with the titles anyway.
True. Do you think it's like they're going to add somebody new, like a Keith Lee type, to the group and rebuild from there?
The real question is, do the fans want to see a heel Keith Lee?
I think it'd be interesting. So. You don't think it might be too soon, but I mean, why not? I mean, the Hurt Business helped for Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. It can help Keith Lee.
I have no doubt that it can help Keith Lee, but my thing is, you got to think about the fans. The fans love Keith Lee. I mean, he's darn near 400 pounds and moves like a cruiserweight. You really believe the fans are going to boo that?
Man, it'd be amazing to see his heel work.
I don't think he's that good of a talker, to be honest.
That's what MVP come and play.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But is Vinnie Mac going to let him wrestle Keith Lee style, or is he just going to put him in there like a traditional big man? I mean, if you want to do Keith Lee as a traditional big man, be my guest, but you take away everything that makes Keith Lee Keith Lee.
I would rather see a heel Keith Lee than Keith Lee coming out smiling like he do.
So is it the smiling, or is it just the fact that maybe you just want him to be a little bit more serious?
More serious, because like why AV Babyface gotta be all happy, smiley, go get it? Why can't they just come out, whoop ass, and keep it going?
I mean, that's Drew McIntyre.
Right. So why can't that, it's like you can only have one of those at a time.
I mean, I'm inclined to agree with you. My thing is this. I don't want to see a heel Keith Lee, but I do like what you're saying and where you're going with him just being a little bit more serious.
Yeah. All right, so following up that segment, we had Sheamus versus Mac Riddle. So is that even his name anymore? WWE need to stop shortening people's names, man. So the match was good, and with Mac MMA background and Sheamus being a badass, it was some hard hitting throughout this whole match. So Sheamus, he won via knee to the face. So this match was good, because I love a match that where you have like somebody like the Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. Like, they're not gonna be throwing those soft and fake hits. Like, they really going at it. Like, I love matches like that. Like, it's really competitive. Like, I'm not gonna let you get me down type stuff. Like, I love those type of matches, and this is my by far the best match of the night so far.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that. I'm not a fan of Riddle. Not a fan. He's one of those other guys who I will put in there with like a Keith Lee. He needs to be a little bit more serious, but that takes away from the overall character.
That's for him. He's always been that though.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why like it's a problem within myself, not so much the character, because the character needs that gimmick to get over. But don't let that take away from the awesome in-ring work that he does. I love watching Mac Riddle matches. I absolutely love them. Hard hitting. And you know what's crazy? He throws that knee very good.
Yeah.
Like he throws a really good knee.
Yeah.
I mean, Sheamus has been putting on WrestleMania type matches for like the past 3 weeks. So Sheamus wasn't a surprise, but them working that well together, that makes me wonder. Because I don't know if you heard, there is some speculation going around that we might have a Sheamus and Daniel Bryan moment at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't think I want to see that.
You don't want to see Riddle get his head booted off in 8 seconds?
No. That's messing up his whole character. No, that's gonna mess up his whole push. No. I mean, it worked for Daniel Bryan because we all felt sorry for him. But no, I don't want to see the same thing play out.
That's fair. I respect it. I personally want to see that. It's not going to do nothing but make the Riddle character that much better. You get the sympathetic baby face, Sheamus sitting there taunting. And remember, this is fans. You have fans at WrestleMania. You might give the best type of heat to Sheamus if you do that.
Yeah. I do like how they building him back up to how he was when he debuted. So I do agree with that, but I don't want to see it happen to Mac Riddle. I don't. Somebody else maybe, but not Mac. No. But following that, we had Jackson Ryker versus Braun Strowman and the Shane Elias and Jackson Ryker promo. So it started with a BS segment with a report card. And this is why I think people tune off, because of BS segments like this. Long story short, Braun, he squashed Jackson and he got attacked by Shane and Elias. And he ended up fighting them off, and he picked a steel cage match for his match with Shane at WrestleMania.
Look, I'm not going to lie to you. They've been booking Braun to be stupid since like 2019, 2020. Do you recall the cage match he had against Kevin Owens?
Yeah, it's kind of like a stereotype, like a tall, dumb guy.
Yeah, and you know he lost that match because he threw Kevin Owens off the cage to the announcer's table.
Right.
What are the chances that they redo it and Shane wins because Braun threw him off the cage through the table?
You know, when Braun was cutting that promo, I was thinking like he gonna either say Hell in a Cell or a steel cage match. And either or, it's just a reason for Shane to go flying off or something.
That's the only thing about WrestleMania to me that is a constant that I actually like. I like seeing Shane crash through shit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But you know what? Do you remember in that match with Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman, he looked at Kevin Owens like 3 times and said, "Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Are you ready?"
Yep.
They're gonna redo that same spot, and Shane's gonna go flying.
Oh man. Let's just move on.
Next hold on. Before you move on, did you peep the train noises?
Yes. And that's corny. It's so cringe.
Okay.
I thought I was tripping. I had to mute my TV. I thought it was outside.
Nah. You know the Strowman Express.
No, I'm not feeling that. All right, so next we had The Miz and John Morrison music video, and I got one word for it: trash.
I have one word for it: awesome, in the worst way possible.
Why
not? Why not? This is The Miz and John Morrison. What did you expect? This is exactly how I thought it was going to go.
I'm not even feeling this whole little thing with Bad Bunny. I don't like that. This remind me of like David Arquette with the WCW. I don't like it.
I mean, everybody's entitled to feel how they feel. I don't like the match either. I don't like the match either, but you got to tap into those other markets. Man. Marketability.
I don't know. To me as a wrestling fan, I can't get into it.
I can't get into it either. What makes you think I want to see 5'3" Bad Bunny in there with what is the Miz 6'1"?
I ain't gonna lie, he did steal on them though.
Yo, that was a real punch.
Yeah, it looked like it hurt it.
Yeah, that was real.
All right, so then following that, we had Cedric Alexander versus Bobby Lashy, the Almighty. Do I need to say anything more?
Hold on, you mean Shelton? I think that was Shelton.
It was Shelton.
It was Shelton.
I don't know. I thought it was Cedric.
Nah. Because
he put Cedric in the hurt lock in backstage.
No. I don't know that one. I know that the announcer called. It was supposed to be a 2-on-1 handicap match, but it was just Shelton Benjamin versus Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley ran Cedric Alexander backstage.
That's what I'll step away for the TV then, because that's what I saw.
Yeah, I mean it was a good little back and forth after that little segment where the Almighty ran Cedric Alexander off. He got hit with pay dirt. And, they got to do the false finish. They still got to make Shelton look good. Couple knees. He caught the Almighty with a couple knees in the corner, and then he just the Almighty got the hurt lock put in, and that was ball game. I really loved this match, and I loved it for the simple reason that we did break up the Hurt Business, but they didn't completely squash Shelton Benjamin, and that's what I can appreciate. Because how many times have we seen these groups break up and then the main guy just squashes the people who were in this group, who were formerly in the group. And I'm not trying to say that Shelton, they made it as competitive as it needed to be to get the point across of how good the Almighty is while still making Shelton Benjamin look good.
Yeah, I was cooking at this point, so I stepped away. I thought it was Cedric and Bobby. I swear that's what I heard him say, because I had the TV up.
Nah, that's next week.
But that's what it was then. I must have got it confused. But following this, we had a Game Night segment with the New Day and AJ Styles and Omos. So at first, I wasn't interested in this feud, but now I am. Omos, he actually spoke, and it wasn't that bad, no. And then when he attacked the New Day, I'm very intrigued, and this is one of the matches I'm really looking forward to at WrestleMania, for real. I'm gonna want to say one more thing. That duo of AJ Styles and Omos is giving me Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash vibes.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
I hated this segment. I absolutely hated it. It was so cheesy, so corny. And you know what? I love the fact that Omos spoke, especially after he couldn't see that AJ Styles clearly drew a son. I don't know how much more of details you need for that to be the son. Like, you could take that into a kindergarten classroom and they'll say, oh yeah, that's the son. But the fact that he said, and I'm just paraphrasing, we don't need to play these games. We just need to beat them at WrestleMania. And you know what? I hope that move that he hit on Xavier Woods is not his finisher, because I hate big men who just have like a choke bomb as a finisher. Like, I need you to be more creative than that.
They kind of did. And you see, they gave Braun Strowman on the shoulder.
I mean, I like the running power slam for Braun Strowman, because he take about 2-3 steps.
That's a regular move, though. Anybody can hit that.
It is a regular
finisher
move.
Gotta be something unique that's like can't nobody pull off.
I mean, I get it, bro. But listen, Brody Lee in AEW had a power bomb as a finisher. He had a power bomb. That's a regular move. You see that in just about every match.
But it depends on how you make it work. If you can make it work and make it look like that shit hurt, like JBL, Kevin Nash, and Batista, you can make it work.
I mean, I'm just being honest here. I don't want to take a running power slam from Braun Strowman. You see what he did to Brock?
Yeah.
He put Brock through 2 tables with it. I still don't know how Brock came back.
So following that, we had Shayna versus Naomi. Now, this match was horrible and very predictable. A distraction, roll up for the win, Naomi wins. It's very obvious that it's going to be a triple threat at WrestleMania. So that goes to our conversation yesterday about women being used as a break or as a break, a relief piece between matches and stuff. So I'm gonna go on the realm and say hashtag give women wrestling a chance. That's what they need to do.
Listen, I feel you, but you're missing the point. There will be no triple threat. That's going to be Asuka and Rhea. The real question is the implosion of Nia and Shayna. You know who the real MVP of all this is? Reginald. He's getting paid to show up
and do flips.
He's the real MVP. And did you see how good Lana looked?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't I tell you she's been picking up on her spots?
But I seen it coming though. Like I knew it from the moment when the match started, and I seen who was on commentary. I knew that somehow, some way, they was gonna be involved, and this match wasn't gonna end cleanly. I knew it.
Oh, of course it was predictable. You know,
yeah, it's gonna be a triple threat. It's gonna be them three, and then Nia and Shayna, they gonna lose the belt at WrestleMania. So calling it out now. They're losing the belt, and Naomi and Lana gonna win it. I'm calling it out now.
The real question is, if that's how they're going, do you give Lana the pinfall?
They have to. They building her up.
Yeah, I feel like you have to. You have to give Lana the pinfall.
She made that team successful for real. I mean, not to discredit Naomi, but she helped. For her to came from what she was doing before to now being a full-fledged wrestler, she came a long way. Yes, all credit is due.
So who does she pin? She can't pin Shayna.
No, they're not taking the pin. It's gonna be Mandy Rose or Dana Brooke. My money's on Dana Brooke. She gonna take the pin.
You know, if I was WWE and I booked this match, I would actually have some balls, and I would actually have Lana. It will come down to, because you know they all come in, do their finishing spots, and it's just Lana and Nia left in the ring, and she channels her inner Rusev. Machka kick and knocks her out cold, and she gets the pin. Or, well, now she ain't got the showmanship for, the Shawn Michaels kick into the pin. She ain't got that type of showmanship. She couldn't pull that off. But just a little Machka kick, knock Nia Jax out. You got to catch her as soon as she gets back in the ring, because you let her get up, it's over.
That's not never gonna happen. Because I could see after Nia and Shayna dropped the belt, they're gonna push them to be more single stars. You feel me? And then I can see the return of Ronda Rousey right around the corner.
I heard she broke her back.
She did.
I believe that's what I read. That's why she's not back yet.
It's coming soon though. She coming back though.
They'll probably debut her and Becky Lynch on the same night.
That'd be something else. What would be something else if they make that a tag and they just dominate the women division though? That's
I don't like that. I don't like Ronda. I'm not a fan of Ronda. I've never been a fan of Ronda.
What?
No.
Man.
No.
All right, so then we had the main event. Drew McIntyre versus Ricochet. So Drew, he was sitting backstage and he got tired for someone to make a move. And he started to call out wrestlers. Ricochet, he responded in a great match. So Drew, he was dominating, but it didn't hurt no one. Drew, he looked great for WrestleMania, and Ricochet, he didn't drop out. And Mustafa Ali, he isn't with Retribution, so that's a thumbs up for me.
First off, Slapnuts from Retribution is the MVP. Shane Thorne from the Bayou. He might not even be from the Bayou. I didn't like the Ricochet match. WWE has really soured me to Ricochet, and I don't know what they can do to fix it, but I know what I'm gonna get from Ricochet, and they're never gonna give Ricochet the proper respect, so they just soured me to him. I love the Mustafa Ali WWE has a thing. They know how to book the big guy versus the little guy very well. Brock versus AJ, Brock versus Daniel, Roman versus Daniel, Drew McIntyre versus AJ. I mean, numerous times they have booked the big guy versus the small guy, and they booked it well. Remember, I can't remember the pay-per-view, Brock versus Ray, where Dominic got involved in the no disqualification match.
Mm-hmm.
Even that match was good. They gave you that very slight glimpse of hope where they both hit the 619 and did the double dives, and you're like, oh, he's gonna beat Brock, and he kicked out, and we just knew where it was going from there.
Speaking of Dominic, we're gonna circle back around on that because I do want to say something about him, but we're gonna go ahead and keep it pushing though. So, if you had to rate this show, what would it be out of 10? I would give it a solid 7. I like how they're building up matches for WrestleMania, like Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley, Mac Riddle versus Sheamus, and the New Day versus AJ and Amos.
If I had to rate this show, I'm giving it a 1 out of 10. It was awful. It was clunky. It was just all over the place. Some of the decisions didn't make sense. And I want to circle back around to when you were talking about Drew McIntyre in the locker room. Here's my problem with that. Drew is a baby face, right?
Yep.
So why is he going around picking fights with people?
I mean, if you know that somebody gonna come for you eventually, you want to get out the way too. Don't sneak me. Come and shade some dudes right here. I'm right here. Why sneak me? I'm right here in your face. You feel me?
He was asking the jobbers outside of Braun Strowman.
Yeah, it wasn't nobody else in there though.
No, it was nothing but jobbers.
I mean, he went in the locker room. If you wasn't in there, you missed your shot. He went in there, was like, who wanted? He can't help that everybody else left.
He was in there picking a fight with the 24/7 title chasees. These are the same people who chase around R-Truth every week trying to win the 24/7 title.
Man, he the savior of WWE too.
Oh, bro.
Carrying WWE on his back.
MVP, R-Truth, MVP. Not even a question. He was picking fights with no, I'm not done. He was picking fights with the 24/7 people. Just think about it. This is the top guy, the top baby face in the company. You want to see John Cena doing this?
But he was doing that without the cameras on though.
Come on now, we ain't gotta put his real life out here. We talking about what the cameras is talking about. Listen, you want to see John Cena doing this? Just picking fights with the jobbers. And then you forgot one important thing. Baron Corbin showed up. And I mind you, Samoa Joe was absent from the announcer's desk.
Yeah, because we had MVP fill in.
Yeah. Who's to say that this new Hurt Business is Lashley, Corbin, Joe, and MVP? Now that's even better than the original.
Yeah, I can see that. But we're gonna circle back around. So, match of the night, I'm giving it to Sheamus and Mac Riddle. It had hard hits. Like I said before, I love matches where it's like alpha male versus alpha male, and it's like, I'm not gonna let you get me down, because they're putting up a great match for the fans, and I love that. I love matches like that.
I'm gonna go with that match as well. It's nothing like hard hitting matches where you can hear each hit, each blow. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. The Sheamus versus Mac Riddle. Though I do have a problem with champions losing on regular television.
Yes. That's it. Especially like the match was great, but if they already gonna go up at WrestleMania, why give it to us 2 weeks later, like 2 weeks before? Ain't no point. That's where they need to really focus on the build up, build the anticipation and all that stuff. Have all this stuff happen so that way when the match happens, it's like, all right, I'm getting my hands on you. So it's a payoff at the end of the day. They need to go back to that. Like they was doing the stuff. I don't know what happened, Man, they was doing it before, like in the early 2000s and stuff. I mean, they was doing it before, but it's like they just said, forget it. We just, we trying something new.
Listen, how many times have we watched a WWE show, like a regular show, and then they give you the match that they're supposed to give you at the pay-per-view on a televised show, and then you get to the pay-per-view match and it's just underwhelming.
Yeah, because you see it like 4 or 5 times before, you be like, dang, again. Like, I swear, like, by the time the Roman and Brock Lesnar did it, by the time the third one, I was already like, man, come on. Like, I'm done. I'm done with this.
That is a rivalry that will forever be eclipsed in the Hall of WrestleMania.
It is a great rivalry, but they just did it too much.
Of course, I mean, they were fighting every pay-per-view. Yeah. Every pay-per-view.
Yes, too much. All right, so my question is the Hurt Business done, or is it the start of something great? Like you were saying about Baron Corbin and Samoa Joe, well, if they go ahead and join them, that could be something great. Yeah, that will be the dominant force. I do think WWE need to bring back stables. They need to bring back dominant stables, though. That's the main thing that I think they're missing right now.
I would love for this new Hurt Business to be Bobby Lashley, MVP, Baron Corbin, and Samoa Joe. But the problem you're going to run into is, one, you broke up an all African American group to bring in two non-African American groups. Two non-African American wrestlers. And on top of that, I ain't never seen Samoa Joe in a suit for real outside
on TNA. And that stable with Booker T and Kurt Angle in them. Yeah.
He was in a suit.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it could be if the storyline fit. I don't mind them replacing Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. If the storyline fits and it makes the group better and stuff, I don't mind that, because it's not like they didn't really enforce that they like. We all recognize, we all know they're an all black group, but they didn't enforce that like how the Nation of Domination did, So they able to swap members and everything and all that stuff too. So if it fits in the storyline and it don't hurt the group within the storyline, then I'm all with it.
I mean, like I'm a firm believer of if you tell the right story, you can get away with anything.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the story does have to be right. I mean, and so far they've gotten it right, at least with Baron Corbin showing up, because to me it's believable. Bobby Lashley, they were friends, or they were on the same team with Drew McIntyre at one point. Lashley and MVP put in a call to Corbin. Hey, I know you on SmackDown. You think you could come up to Monday Night Raw for me? I got a WWE title shot for you if you handle Drew for me.
Right.
And Samoa Joe was absent, and that's what I'm wondering, because there is one more week, and I do feel like you need one more big angle to go home to WrestleMania, and that would be a huge angle. Samoa Joe comes back and aligns himself with Bobby Lashley, because mind you, the stipulation was that the Hurt Business was banned, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. So what if this whole thing is a ruse? What if WWE is playing us?
It could be though. That's why I'm saying, like, if the storyline fit, I'm with it. But this story, I'm following it, man. I'm a number one, the almighty Bobby Lashley fan right now. Number one fan right now. I'm following you right now. You my wrestler of the week right now, Bobby. Salute.
You got Bobby Lashley. I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna go with a non-wrestler, and I'm gonna say Omos.
Why you say that?
First off, we heard him talk, and he actually sounds legit. For so long, he was Shane's bodyguard.
Yeah.
And he barely said a word, but he always looked imposing. Now he's with AJ, and AJ is hyping him up.
I'm telling you, that's the Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash 2.0. I'm telling you, that's a good duo. What, he like 7 foot? When I seen it yesterday, I was like, my God.
He's like 7.
Huge.
He's like 7'3".
Dang,
he don't even. You know what's crazy? He don't even look 7'3".
But that go back to what you were saying about the big man with the choke power bomb and stuff. With him being that tall, it looked like it really hurt Xavier Woods. Like you basically falling from a skyscraper. Like, yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get knocked out.
I mean, yeah, but I want something better. Like, I'll even take a boot.
What if he do a spinning power bomb? That'd be dope.
I mean, at that point, you know what? If he could do
spinning sit down power bomb,
I like that.
But like he do a 360.
First off, if that big guy can do that, I'm giving him a round of applause.
Yeah, bro, that ain't nobody kicking out of that.
I would say if he can do a razor's edge sit out power bomb, that would be dope. You got to think of the extra elevation. Xavier Woods or Kofi Kingston, whichever one would take that move, would be falling from like 8 feet in the air.
What for power bomb from the top rope?
Oh nah, that's just too dangerous. That's just too dangerous.
Like he's sitting at the top and then he lift you up and just fall down. Yeah,
I like it, bro. But you gotta think. You gotta think of wrestlers' safety.
You gotta think something creative.
Yeah, but you gotta think about these wrestlers' safety. We need them next week.
Yeah, true.
we need them next week.
Yeah. All right, so the next topic. # give women wrestling a chance. KB, you want to go ahead and put your 2 cents on that?
Yes, I will. As we saw in the tag team match tonight, and also the contract signing with Asuka and Rhea Ripley.
Did she really? It looked like Asuka was hurt for real doing that, because it looked like the table really hit her in the face and she didn't expect it, or she forgot to put her hands up at the time, because she really looked like she was hurt sitting on the ground, because she didn't get up at all. She was really looking like I'm hurt, help me.
Listen, the last time I saw Asuka cover her mouth like that, she got 2 of her teeth kicked out.
Yeah, so I'm like, damn, did it happen again?
As
I was sitting there watching, like, she hurt for real. I'm like, help her.
That's what I was thinking.
Like, dang.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That's probably why he was Adam Pearce is on his knee. He's probably checking on her and stuff.
Probably, but as we seen today as we saw on Monday Night Raw with the tag match and the segment with Asuka and Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, WWE will continuously use the same women over and over. Where is Peyton Royce?
Exactly.
Where is Billie Kay?
Exactly. Tell them.
I mean, Naomi just started getting some time not that long ago. You had poor Lana going through tables for 9 weeks straight. I mean, Charlotte's out. Their women's division is very thin on both shows. And I've listened to another fellow podcaster, and he states that they just need to combine the divisions.
Shout him out.
JD from NY206. That's my guy. I love him. Go listen to him. He has great takes on wrestling. But yeah, the women's division on both shows is very thin, and that's a problem. You might just need to combine the divisions and just do a unification belt, at least until your big stars like your Ronda and Becky and Lacey, and maybe start calling up some of these women from NXT. I don't want you to call up Ember Moon, because you've already destroyed that by having her run with 24/7 geeks, and she tore her ACL. So don't call her up. Maybe, a Dakota Kai, a Tegan Knox. If you're going to call up Johnny, call up Candice. You know what I'm saying? Like, bring up more women so you can have enough women on both rosters to do a split. But until then, you just need to combine the divisions and then just do a unification bout.
Right. I just feel like like I said, give women wrestling a chance. Like instead of going out there and having them like, all right, we got Drew McIntyre match coming up next. All right, the fans are tired. Let's go ahead. All right, y'all go ahead and go out there. Instead of doing that, give them, man, we seen what they can do in NXT. Give them a chance. You know, these matches can actually be entertaining if you actually take the time to build up these women, actually give effort into these storylines. You feel me? But you just scrapping whatever, giving us the same storylines and giving us the same people over and over and over is tuning us off. So when it does come on and the women wrestling is on, you know, we is less intrigued to watch it, you know. And y'all need to stop that. If y'all gonna produce a 3-hour show, make the whole show entertaining, you know. Don't give me reasons to click off like, all right, I'm only gonna tune in from 8 to 9:30 and then tune back in at 9:45 because I know the main event might be going. Like, no, produce the whole show to make it good. Especially, it's a lot of talented women on the roster. A lot of things you can do, and they just, it's like they're ignoring it. But
I mean, you got to think about it. I love the women's tag team titles, but you've pretty much destroyed your singles division in an attempt to make a tag division.
That's one thing I don't understand too. All these, like, it's like, you a women's champion, you the Raw women's champion or the SmackDown women's champion, you gotta compete for the tag teams champion too. Like, that don't make sense. Like, why and stuff. And it's like they fought so hard to get these belts, and it's like, come on, y'all, make them like we was talking about yesterday. Make these belts worthy. You feel me? So that way, when you win it, you actually feel like you accomplished something. Don't just give it to somebody, then they have them lose for like 3 weeks straight, and they the champion, then you just demolishing the belt. But it's like, are you on the loser streak? Why are you champion? You know, what's the point?
Listen, they could have given the Iconics a year-long women's tag team title run, and fans would have hated it. You know why? Because they don't like the Iconics. They get good heel heat. First off, they're Australian. And
I love them.
I love them.
I love that. That's
yeah. Listen, Billy Kay, Peyton Royce, if you ladies hear this, we want to interview you two. You two are awesome. We love the Iconics. I love the Iconics. You give them a year-long title run with these women tag team titles, that allows you to build up tag teams instead of throwing them together, giving them a match against the champions in which they win and then go on to beat the champions at the next pay-per-view.
I'm gonna go on a whim and say hashtag bring back the Iconics. We want to see that, please.
I do. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce
please
need each other.
Y'all need a tag team division. Y'all had tag teams. Why destroy it? Bring them back. Y'all brought back the Riot Squad. Why not bring the Iconics back?
You know, I forgot about the
Riot Squad.
I forgot about Ruby Riot and Liv Morgan. See?
Yeah. And they just scrapped the whole Liv Morgan stuff that she had going on. It's like at one point they was doing it, and it was like now she back teaming with Ruby Riot.
That's because they don't know who they want to push. They broke up the Iconics to push Peyton Royce, and she never got the push.
But they not understanding, like, you can still do it though. You could push so many people like at one time, and like they not understanding that.
You can push
It's all about the story mode. It's all about the storyline.
Yeah, you can push a tag team you can push a superstar who's in a tag team and not break up the tag team.
Right. They did it before numerous of times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they pretty much did it with the New Day and Kofi Kingston.
Right.
They put Kofi Kingston out there as a single star, and the rest of the New Day, Xavier Woods and Big E, were tag team champions.
Even with the Hardys, they'll come back tag for here and there, and they'll go off and do their own thing, but they ain't break up until later on, though. But you know what I mean?
I mean, you know, WWE just loves to break up tag teams in general. But
yeah, they love that.
Yeah, they love it.
Why can't we just go our separate ways and just recognize that we both is growing and we taking off and stuff?
Because that's the mature thing that WWE doesn't understand. Like you can do a storyline. Don't get me wrong. I do love it if you tell the right story and that tag team breaks up or they implode. It's a beautiful story to tell. But come on now, you can also run a storyline where the tag team, they have different aspects of their career.
Right. Like I like it. Like if you could tell a story with a tag, right? You growing in the tag, and I see you getting all these tensions, so I know like basically I'm the only one holding you back. So if you telling that story like that, and you making it like I'm holding you back, so I'm hating on you, so that's why we got this rivalry, we bumping heads. That's great. That's a different story mode, but don't just do it just because. Like actually make the story make sense too. Or you can also have something like, all right, I recognize your potential. I see your growth. All right, go ahead. I'm not mad if you go ahead and leave this behind. I ain't seen a storyline like that yet. They should do one. I mean, I think that would be good.
You would need
giving us the same thing over and over.
You would need the right tag team. You would need the right.
They could do it with the New Day if they go ahead and break them up. Like, we recognize, like, they could have did it with Kofi was WWE champion. All right, we recognize you getting all this stuff. They could have went ahead and had them go their separate ways and go on like that or whatever. Or when they went ahead and got drafted, when they drafted Big E over, they could have went ahead and had them break up then. Like, all right, so long. You feel me? There's still love here or whatever.
I mean, but then Xavier Woods just gets lost in the fray.
It depends on the way they book him though, but I don't think he could. I mean, he could be a dominant mid-carder, dominant intercontinental or a United States champion, like Chris Jericho would be like a 9-time United States champion. So he can easily do that. They could keep him there. He'd be perfect there.
I wouldn't say like a 9-time. I say maybe more like a 3-time. Intercontinental.
I can see it. Because automatically off rip. Once they retire, they automatically go into the WWE Hall of Fame. They just for what they did on the tag. So why not build his credibility up on the singles run too? I will have him like that too. So that way you can't just be like, oh, he was just good in the tag. If it wasn't for the New Day, he wouldn't be nothing. Nah. I would have him. So afterwards, after the New Day is done for or whatever, he's still dominant, be able to do his own thing. Yeah, I would make him at least he'd be at least 5 or 6 times United States, 4-time the Continental. Yeah, I don't like that.
I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm not that big a fan of Xavier Woods. I do like him in the ring. He just seems... I like the Xavier Woods outside the ring. Let's put it like that. That Xavier Woods is very charismatic.
Up, down. Yeah.
That Xavier Woods is very charismatic. The one in the ring... Because I always feel like I can never like the New Day unless I get all 3. The New Day without Big E does not feel like
it do seem like something's missing though. It do, but I'm kind of intrigued just to see like what they're gonna do with the group and stuff. And I'm kind of seeing like what they're gonna do with Big E too. Like I'm hoping for a heel turn. That's why I really want to see. I really want to see that.
I don't think they would have taken him away from the New Day for him to turn heel. I think this is I like this aggressive side of Big E that I've been seeing against Apollo Crews. That's the Big E. That's the Big E I want to see.
Like, something with Apollo, why all of a sudden he developed an accent? I don't get that. Like, it could be different. Like, if his character, he found out, he the prince of the country that he's the prince of, it'd be different if he found that out and then be like, all right, and still, he could dress like it though, but still carry his own language and still talk the way he do. Like, it don't make sense storyline mode. Like, we already seen you talk already and stuff. So all of you disappear off of TV for like three months, and now you come back with this accent. Like, it's like, it remind me of the Kofi thing again. Like, he was saying he was Jamaican, and out of nowhere he started talking normal, and then he wasn't Jamaican no more. Now he Kofi Kingston, and that's it.
So I do agree, but here's my thing. Who's to say that he didn't have an accent to begin with, but because he's been in wrestling for so long and people were saying, I want you to talk like this, and then he got into the WWE system and they really corrected that. And you saw he was talking to Roman about a month and a half ago. them Samoan roots, they run deep. What if Roman was telling him, you got to go back to your roots?
Mm-hmm.
And after that last second to last loss to Big E, he snapped. You know, not that, I'm sorry, when he lost to Shinsuke, and you know, he snapped and he dropped the stairs on Big E. You know, what if that was just where he snaps? And you know, he just thinks back to that conversation with Roman, and he comes out, he came out and cut the promo the next week saying, this is who I really am.
I like that theory, KB. I like that theory, KB.
Hey, so, I was just saying, you got to connect the dots. You know, WWE will show you something and they'll just leave it alone and won't follow up on it, but it all makes sense. He was talking to Roman.
Or sometimes they'll leave it alone and just, you know, forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, what match at WrestleMania are you looking forward to the most?
The match that I'm looking forward to the most from this year's WrestleMania, I'm looking for the crowning of a new Raw Women's Champion. I'm also going to go on a limb and say that's going to be the match of the night for whatever night it's on.
So you think Rhea Ripley is beating Asuka?
Not only do I think she's beating Asuka, I think she's going to destroy Asuka.
I could see that because they really ain't. She been champion, but they really ain't do nothing with her at all. It's like she just been just there, but they don't know what to do. They're just like, all right, we need our women's champion on TV.
So that's
it. They just don't know what to do.
So here's my problem. My significant other loves faces and hates heels.
Mm-hmm.
And she will often get upset when I would be able to call out what's going to happen. And this is the theory that I tell her. I say, the problem with having a face as a champion is that when he runs through all of the heels, he doesn't have anybody left.
Right.
As in, when you have a heel champion, you can always build a baby face. You know, building a baby face is not hard. I mean, he does have to get over with the crowd, but once you get that over, it's not hard.
Right.
And that's why you often see heels a lot of the time with the main title, because when you build up that baby face to the point to where we all believe he can overtake this awesome heel, this story just is phenomenal. Daniel Bryan versus think about it. Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 30, he had to beat Triple H to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, compete in the triple threat match and won. When you build up the baby face just right, the moment when they win, it makes that moment so much more memorable.
Yeah. All right, so now we wrapping it right back around to Dominic Mysterio, what we was talking about. So now I was watching a couple weeks ago. I was watching Raw, or SmackDown. I think it was SmackDown with my brothers and stuff, right? And my one brother, he ain't watched wrestling in so long, right? So when I told him that was Dominic Mysterio, he was shocked. He was like, "That's Lil Dominic." I was like, "Yeah, for the match with Eddie and Ray and everything." And he was saying stuff like how he could tell that he's still like learning and everything like that. Oh, but I was telling him like he got better from when he first came on to now. He got better, but you can tell that he's still learning. But the thing about him, and I believe this, once he learned his craft, once his craft is developed, it's a wrap. He's gonna be the perfect WWE superstar, a mixture of Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. That's like the number one superstar. Like that's gonna be that's a killer. That's a killer. It just took my words out of my mouth. That's gonna be the killer. I'm telling you. Once he earned his craft and learned it, he gonna have the 619 and the frog splash. But let him get some height in that. It's gonna be a wrap. I'm telling you.
Listen, if he's gonna learn to do the frog splash, he needs to learn from Montez Ford.
It's gonna be better than that.
No, it's not.
He gonna get higher up. Man, it's gonna be better. I'm telling you, it's gonna be more smoother. Everything.
First off, have you seen Dominic Mysterio run the ropes? He can't run the ropes.
That's what I'm saying. When he work on his craft, it's gonna be better. I'm telling you, everything gonna be on point.
How tall is Dominic? Is he like 6'2", 6'3"?
Let me check real quick.
Because he tries to He tries to wrestle like a luchador, but I don't see the speed. And I'm like, you can't wrestle luchador
He's
style.
6'1".
He's 6'1". Okay,
yeah.
So I thought so. Like, you can't be a luchador and not have speed.
Yeah, he gonna gain it. Look, that's why they got that vest on him, because when we seen his bird chest and everything, Vince McMahon, he wasn't liking that, So they got that vest on him because they're working with him backstage. So once they take that vest off, just know that's when he earned his craft and he got his craft down pat and everything, Once he take that vest off, he revealed that 6-pack and stuff, and then he gonna be fast and he gonna hit you with the 619. He gonna call it the 916 and stuff. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a wrap.
He's gonna call it the 916.
All right, so my next question is this, and I always think about this time after time after time. Did WWE drop the ball with the Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker feud?
No.
Why?
Because Bray wasn't ready.
You don't think so?
No.
That was at the height of the Wyatt family.
Here's what I asked. If Bray had won, where would he be now?
He wouldn't be the Fiend, I could tell you that. Exactly. But the Bray Wyatt character could be more developed, though. They could have took off a different way.
You got to be... First off, if Taker is putting you over...
Him playing the mind games, that could have took off like a whole different type of way, too. I love the Fiend character, though. Don't get me wrong. I do. I always wanted this.
You got to... Hold on. Before you say that, you got to think about the significance of everything. One-on-one with The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Do you think that he was honestly ready, even though it was at the height? Was he ready?
Yeah, possibly not. Nah, because if he did win, we probably, like you said, we probably would have never got the Fiend and where he at now. But
Bray had to lose, and he had to lose a lot in order to come.
It's gonna always be that what if though with this.
Oh, facts. Always. Of course.
Always. Man. All right, so that's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in to the first ever episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, we'll see you on the next one.